Hello and how's it going everyone? It is Skooma TV here today with another Bethesda News Roundup video, where I break down all the most recent Bethesda news, rumors, and speculation, and we have quite a few interesting things to talk about today. We have a huge update in regards to that Bethesda and Microsoft partnership, buyout, whatever you want to call it. We have a couple of interesting discoveries related to Starfield, and then we got like a heavy speculation salt, actually mostly just kind of a joke related to the Elder Scrolls 6 as well. But let's not waste any more time and let's get to today's content. And we're going to begin the video with an update to that Microsoft and Bethesda buyout situation, like I said, because yesterday a new document emerged from the EU, because like I was covering in previous videos, the EU is deciding upon this Microsoft and Bethesda acquisition. They pretty much just have to decide if it's legal or if there's any reasons that it should not be allowed to go through. And according to documentation yesterday, we have a few pieces of interesting information related to this. First off, as you can see in this document here, ZeniMax and its subsidiary Bethesda, of course, will be merged into a new subsidiary under Microsoft named Vault, which is quite a fitting name. However, Vault isn't named for Fallout or anything. In fact, this newly created Microsoft subsidiary is actually being merged into ZeniMax and thus Bethesda. Vault will then disappear and ZeniMax will stay, so whatever Vault was and whatever was going on with the Vault Microsoft subsidiary, it will now be part of ZeniMax, and ZeniMax will still get to keep its name and its hierarchy above the Bethesda studios underneath it. So there's a lot of misinformation, or I guess misinterpretation, over this one-page document. Some people think ZeniMax is being renamed to Vault and that Microsoft is renaming ZeniMax Vault because of a Fallout thing, but that's not the case. Vault was created by Microsoft and now is going to be dissolved into ZeniMax and will no longer exist. It'll just be ZeniMax underneath Microsoft, and that's basically that update. And there is a second update to this situation within this documentation as well, and that is, as you can see here, the EU actually decided that there's no reason for the Microsoft and Bethesda acquisition to be stalled or to be denied. They determined that it's fine, it will go through, there's no reason for them to stop it. However, there are 5 days left for other third-party companies not involved in this to kind of object to this situation, because other companies can object if they feel like this buyout or partnership is illegal or can harm their business in a shady way. And I don't think that's going to happen. I believe in 5 days that the EU will have this final approval process of this buyout actually finalized, and if the EU is approving it, that only leaves, I believe, the United States and Japan. And if the EU is going to approve it, I don't know why any other government entity wouldn't approve it either. I believe this is going to get approved all around the board, and the EU is the first to actually do so. And this is a huge indication that this Microsoft and Bethesda purchase is definitely going to go through almost 100%, and when it actually is finalized and approved, we should hear more about what Microsoft's plans are with working for Bethesda, including any future Bethesda exclusivity. But that's everything that this document has to tell us. Let's move on to the next thing I want to talk about in today's video, which is, I'll go ahead and I'll do this bit now, because this part's mostly a joke, and then we'll get to the Starfield information. But apparently in Fallout 76 for a while now, I haven't seen this myself, but there is an NPC named Dr. Bethy Mangano, and I'm not sure if that's some kind of reference or Easter egg or hidden joke that I'm not picking up on or something, but apparently this NPC sells you some kind of like thing called high int rock, and I don't know if that's like high intelligence rock or what the INT is supposed to stand for. High institute rock, I don't know, but here we go. People are like, oh look, high rock confirmed now in the Elder Scrolls 6, and I'm not even reporting on this in terms of like, hey, this is speculation. I'm reporting on this because I just think it's kind of a funny thing that Bethesda has done to kind of get people to talk. I don't know why else they would call this high int rock. I mean, high rock is like obviously going to be on the minds of everyone everywhere in terms of speculation regarding the Elder Scrolls 6. So I think this is just Bethesda trolling the community. A lot of people have brought this to my attention. I don't think this is a indication in any way that this is like a hint of high rock being in Test 6. This is just a troll, or this just a coincidence of this rock being named this way, but I don't want to spend too much time on this. Let's move on to the last couple things I want to talk about in today's video, which has to do with Starfield. And like I talked about in previous videos, Bethesda Game Studios in Montreal is undergoing a massive expansion right now, and now we have even more postings from Bethesda Game Studios Montreal, and on top of this, some actual posts related directly to Starfield, which indicate that these job postings are indeed 100% related to Starfield. And as you can see here, these job postings are somewhat new. We have one for a gameplay programmer, a system programmer, and an outsource art coordinator. A lot of these job postings I have broken down in previous videos, but as you see in this actual post right here, it says, "Hi game dev friends, Bethesda's Earth Outpost in Montreal is looking for a gameplay programmer, a system programmer, and an art outsource coordinator for its next big mission. Interested? Hit me up." And I think that this actual post is huge because I believe it's like the first actual post from Bethesda to kind of play into the lore or the setting of Starfield in any way, shape, or form. Obviously, this post is made kind of just like in jest or just to have a Starfield theme to it because, like I said, you're going to be hired to work on this game. But what interests me is these job positions, I assume, would have been hired a long time ago if they're going to be working on Starfield, because there's so much evidence to support that Starfield is basically in the bug testing and final phases right now and should be released in 2021. But if they're hiring positions like these, you would think Starfield may have a lot longer of development to go, but that can't be the case. That contradicts a lot of inside statements I've heard and just other discoveries I've made and like just the overall Bethesda timeline. But what this could have to do with is maybe future Starfield DLC or expansions, because if Starfield is a new franchise, which it obviously is, then Bethesda probably is going to want to go all out with it. And even on top of that, they have to go all out with expansions, DLC, and added content. And these positions could have to do with that. Maybe Starfield is going to have a long shelf life, if you will, and Bethesda Game Studios Montreal will assist in just making continued content for Starfield. Or maybe this is a sign that Starfield is going to have like new planets and solar systems and just content added to it for free non-stop, kind of like how Fallout 76 has new content added to it. Obviously, Starfield isn't a online game. Online games generally have like content added to it in such a way that Fallout 76 would, but maybe Bethesda just wants to go all out with Starfield because they have a huge opportunity here to kind of come out of the gate with a more successful launch than Cyberpunk 2077, because CD Projekt is a competitor to Bethesda, no matter how you want to like try to say they're not. They are. Get over yourself. And I think that this content, these job postings would have to do with future Starfield content. That's at least my speculation on this. And the last thing I want to talk about in today's video, I believe has to do with Starfield as well, or something, because they hired an ex-Star Citizen developer over at ZeniMax Online Studios as an encounter designer for their next-gen MMORPG. And if they're hiring someone from Star Citizen as an encounter designer, I wonder if maybe the next ZeniMax Online MMORPG that the community has long been speculating over and has been known about to be in development for like years now, I wonder if it's going to be a Starfield standalone MMORPG separate from the Starfield single-player game. Kind of similar to how the Elder Scrolls Online is a standalone MMO separate from the single-player Elder Scrolls games. Maybe Starfield will have something like that. And if you look at just the overall pattern so far, even though ZeniMax Online Studios hasn't been around for too long and they don't have too many games at all, they still do great work, and it seems like their work is directly related to what Bethesda Game Studios does, because of the Elder Scrolls Online, obviously, and if they're making a new next-gen MMO, it would only make sense for it too to be related to a Bethesda Game Studios game, although that might not be the case. Maybe this MMORPG is a whole new IP, but even if it isn't a whole new IP, they might still play it off as such in the job postings, because they don't want to just say in the job postings that you're going to be working on a separate Starfield game. That would be a huge giveaway and it would ruin the surprise and the announcement. So I believe that this job posting right here would have to do with possibly a Starfield standalone multiplayer game or something, but that's also speculation as well. But that's basically everything I want to talk about in today's video. As always, let me know what you think about all this down in the comments below. What do you think these job postings are for? And if you enjoy the content, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn notifications on. And if you want to help grow the channel and the community, be sure to share the content, share the channel, share the video video because the YouTube algorithm really doesn't help small channels grow unless you're over like 100,000 subscribers. However, since I've been asking you all to share the video, the channel has been growing a lot faster. So huge thank you for that. It is highly appreciated. And speaking of appreciation, huge shout out and thank you to these amazing people for going above and beyond to support the channel and bring you content like this. If you want to get your name added to this list and get a permanent future video shout out in every single one of my videos from this point forward, you can support the channel over on Ko-fi, Patreon, or here on YouTube as an exclusive channel member. Links for all this and more are down in the description below. And as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when we're still strong, holding the line, waiting for Starfield.
It just works.